We all grow up fantasizing about finding true love with a knight in shining armor and living happily ever after. But that's all it is. Fantasy.
The ultimate power awaits you, my lord. The dimensional portal, the doorway to your ultimate triumph.
To the most barbaric land that time has ever known.
This is Los Angeles. Most awesome place in the universe.
Yo, Darth Vader, what is it, some kind of movie set?
You gotta get yourself some fresh thread. Rock and roll, baby. Whoa!
How come a clean-cut jungle boy like you was hanging out with a creep like this?
This geek is really trying to get the bomb.
The world is mine! You must pass me first.
Are you okay?
Fear not, I've been thrown much further by much faster horses than your steel steed.
Not a scratch on him, but apparently he believes that he's a 14th century knight.
Sir-called Christopher Frederick Lyons of Norwich, at your service.
Oh boy.
This is all my fault.
Where are they playing that lyrical medley?
On the radio. I'm going to help until his memory comes back. What if he's dangerous?
Rock and roll, baby.
We're just that kind of best friends.
We are going to focus on the podcast.
Yeah, we will.
We're not hijacking it.
No,
We're
good.
not
bring
that
bring
bad.
bring that energy. It's Christmas. That's what we're here for.
It's
And
Christmas. It's time to completely destroy a podcast. That time of year where you come on some podcast
it's
to
like a
ruin
Christmas. This podcast is like a Christmas cracker. It's meant to be pulled and then explode, and then there's a treat inside. So with that, I would say,
and with us, you get the bad jokes.
that's right. So here we are. This is the Enthusiasm podcast. I wish I had like a tagline at the beginning to clarify what this is, but it's basically just friends hanging out, enthusing about their favorite stuff. And sometimes those things that we love are the things that we really want to get really nitpicky about and break apart and dissect as only people who love it can, right? It's like when people talk about your family, you're like, hey, I'm allowed to make fun of my family, and you're not allowed to say bad things about my family. And that's how I feel about Christmas movies in general, because I love them and I love to complain about them as well. So I'm here with some great friends who I'm very excited, Kat, Joe, and Mabel, who I'm just meeting for the first time, but I'm excited to hang out with. Can you guys introduce yourselves? Kat, you're new to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and something that you're very enthusiastic about in addition to Christmas specials.
Oh, that's a great question. So I wear a few hats. I'm a children's author, which is how I met you. And I also work with adults with learning disabilities, supporting them to live independent lives. I also do cleaning because I live in Cornwall and there's not that many jobs. But I love everything. I get enthusiastic about so many things, which is wonderful because you can meet somebody and just get very enthusiastic with them about stuff. But I think, I guess one of the things I'm the most excited about, I get really enthusiastic about puns. So I'm hoping some puns will come out tonight. I love my puns. Terrible dad jokes incoming.
All right, you've set the bar. You've set the bar. We're gonna expect some puns along the way. And Mabel,
Yeah.
welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you as well. I've heard many lovely things about you.
Oh, my heart. And you're beaming in from Cornwall as well?
Yes, I'm also from Cornwall. It's so that's how me and Kat met. So me and Kat are best friends and have been for 20 years, which is terrifying. I feel so old. And we met in college, and she is the reason that I got the name Mabel. So shout out. And yeah.
And what is something that you like? Is there something specific that people know you for? That's like the thing that you're like, oh, everybody knows Mabel. They're the nerdiest fan of.
Okay, so I am a specialist in, or was when I did academia. So I'm a specialist in medieval comedy. So I really like comedy and I really like medieval stuff. And then I went to uni and put them together. And so I tend to I'm either the history/medieval person on funny podcasts, or I'm the funny one on medieval podcasts. So
It's pretty good. I feel like
presumably today I get to be both.
I can tell you right now that my 11-year-old nephew, who is a huge history buff, will be very jealous because I feel like that is his dream intersection. He loves comedy and he loves medieval history and he loves all history, but if he can find a way to combine the two.
It is really fun. It's quite a new specialism in terms of like people for a long time just thought that sort of anything like that was purposefully funny and had being funny as its main purpose was like not worth studying, or was only worth studying if it for its sort of secondary purpose, which they then branded the main purpose. So like satire has always been really common to study because you're using comedy to do something, but if you're just trying to make people laugh and then the sort of the other purpose is a second, then that becomes like then that's a more sort of awkward proposition for academics, I think. So, but there are loads more people doing it now, so I properly enjoy it. Although I would recommend that your nephew wait a little bit because a lot of the comedy is incredibly rude. Like,
I think
they don't. Most of the words that we consider swear words were not swear words in the medieval period. And didn't become so until the Victorians got their hands on them. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that makes people go, I'm sorry, what?
And Joe, who is at this point, beyond a friend of the show, Joe is like a
a cousin of the show,
a VIP of this show, because I often go to Joe when I want to share in my insanity for all things, especially Christmas movies. But Joe, we've known each other for at least 20 years, I feel like.
I think it's in excess of that. Yeah. Yeah, we met at a comic book show, 98, I think. 99, something around then. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe and his friend Russ, they made zines, and we met at a show that was like specifically for small press and like independent comics and like DIY comics and stuff. And yeah, it was always a good time running into Joe.
And much like yourself, coming on when there's a requirement for medieval expertise, I am an unexpected expert on
Scholar?
Christmas movies. I've watched a lot of Christmas movies.
I make my poor partner watch bad Christmas films every year, so I'm very excited.
Well, some years ago, it was the first year of the pandemic, I got a flyer in the mail touting Hallmark Channel, their gallery, their suite of Christmas movies coming out that year, and I couldn't believe how many there were. So I decided that I would start a podcast where I watched a bunch of them in a row and did a podcast about each one of them.
You say a bunch of them. You say a bunch of them. That I feel like that's because to me a bunch of them would be like 20.
Well, I did 60. So I started.
Wow.
Look, it's not a good idea, and I've done it. I've done it 4 times.
So Christmassy. I can't take it anymore.
I started on October 27th, which I now know it's in my DNA. I know October 27th is 60 days before Christmas, and I did a podcast every day leading up to Christmas. So I've seen a lot of Christmas movies.
So what I would.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I would say is that we've only just got access to Hallmark in the UK.
Yeah.
So we've never so all we've had is like the Netflix films and whatever Hallmark films just kind of come up. So until this year, I had never seen like Hallmarky. So like you see the sort of like similar stuff, but I'd never seen proper Hallmark films. And we got we are paying for the month for that after that Hallmark like trial period, because we started watching Finding Mr. Christmas, which to explain to British people and Cat is basically like a reality TV show where they're trying to find the main man, the leading man in a Hallmark Christmas film, and they just get random blokes in and do it like it's like The Bachelor but with like Christmas film, and it's one of the most beautifully horrible things I've ever seen. Like
10 contestants will compete for a chance to win a leading role in an original Hallmark Christmas movie. There can only be one winner. Unfortunately, you're going home for the holidays.
Finding Mr. Christmas.
Every set has extreme garden center energy. Like
extreme garden center.
You know, like garden centers at Christmas when they're kind of like, yeah, it's like that. Like they get evicted in a grotto, and then they have to take down their stocking from the mantelpiece, but the stocking has leather on it because they're men. Sorry,
no,
that's all right.
I didn't mean to butt in so horribly. But...
No, it's okay. But that's the thing. So there's this whole industry of Hallmark Christmas movies that they churn out. Then there's the Netflix Christmas movies, which they also have just a bevy of every year. And then there's like the secondary level of channels in America or studios that have theirs. And then there's the drudgery. There's the ones that are just you're looking shoestring budgets. And I find the most interest in those because so many of these. Oh, really? What have you seen?
I've seen one. I found it was on Netflix one year, and it's Mandy and the Forgotten Christmas, and it's my favorite Christmas film because it's awful. All the music is synth Christmas carols.
Love that.
It's based on a bunch of books, and it's set in a school. It's set in a school in 1900, and the main girl, Mandy, she's a quarter Cherokee, and you know that she's a quarter Cherokee because she's one with the horses. But she is the blondest girl.
Mandy! Has anyone seen Mandy? Absolutely, positively, no one is allowed in the attic without Miss Heathwood's permission. Hello?
Never go up there again.
Do not touch anything.
Hope in the impossible, especially at Christmas, is a lie.
To live in their world, you must know their ways.
What if I don't want to live in their world?
Like, she looks like she's from Sweden, but she's continually going on about how she's like half or quarter Cherokee. And they're continually going on about like, we don't want you in our supper club or whatever. So bad.
So does this ring a bell?
No, I checked my index. I have a Word document, a Google Doc for every single note I've taken.
It's Mandy with an IE, but yeah,
of course it is.
It's written, directed, and produced by one person, which is how you know it's a good film.
That is a hallmark of the crap that I've watched.
Author, dreamweaver, visionary, plus actor.
A passion project.
I think it's only available either through through alternate means, or you can get it on like serious Christian like streaming channels. And I'm like, it's just so bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
all of the
cover art,
candles.
and it is.
All of the candles are those plastic electric candles because they clearly didn't pass the health and safety risk assessment for real flames. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love those films that you can't watch alone. Like you have to watch them with someone else. So you've got someone
no
to
choice.
They won't believe you. They just won't believe you otherwise.
I can't subject some of these to other people.
You have to have someone to yell with.
Well, no, that doesn't stop me. I've talked about it on this show before. That I never talk to the television more than when I'm watching a Christmas movie. Like that is the dynamic. Like I'm talking to them. It's a one-on-one, like, no, stop, don't do it, shut up, just stop. Guys, we've talked about the spectrum. We're at the top of the spectrum because this is
No,
Netflix.
we're not.
This is a Netflix Christmas movie. This is one of the early Netflix movies. It's not the first. The first, I think, was The Christmas Prince.
Yes, which is referenced in this movie.
Of course, we do enjoy the little like Easter egg nods. But this is like a Christmas movie with a budget.
You know time travel isn't a real thing, right?
I have traveled here, and it matters not if I understand how. A knight is sworn to valor and virtue, will give aid to those who seek it.
But it follows the tropes of the Hallmark movies in that it takes a actress who maybe was a little bit more successful in years past, and this is kind of like their comeback. This is a chance to sort of show, that they can, they still got it, in a romantic, sweet way. So I feel like we should just dive in. Let's just start. Like we'll just tell you what this movie's about, and at any point you guys want to interject and talk about like what speaks to you, what doesn't speak to you. But I just want to give a little framework that for me, I kind of put this in a specific subcategory of movie, which since I was a kid, I referred to as the Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time genre. Because when I was a kid, there was a movie called Beastmaster that was a medieval sword and sorcery fantasy movie. And then there was a low budget sequel where 90% of the movie takes place in Los Angeles. They like take all these like medieval characters and bring them into modern day because it's a lot cheaper to film in modern day. And I remember when they made the Masters of the Universe movie, they did the same thing. The original content was like in this faraway planet. They were like, no, we got to film it in the suburbs because that's affordable. And as most Christmas movies, this one is filmed in Canada because it's very cheap to film in Canada.
This isn't the point, but I will say that as a child, when I saw the Masters of the Universe movie, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, of course you were.
Because it was supposed to take place in this magical world,
right. And
they were like, no, let's film it in the regular world, mostly at night. So that you can't really see
in a
anything.
diner.
Yeah.
Julie! From a distant galaxy, they have come to Earth. Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. Frank Langella as Skeletor. Only they have the powers to be Masters of the Universe. Live the adventure.
Anytime you have a fantasy world that's really cool, like the new Tron movie did the same thing where it's like, we go to these movies to go into the Tron world, but let's spend 90% of the movie in the real world and it costs nothing to film.
But it's so wacky.
The most barbaric land that time has ever known.
This is Los Angeles, most awesome place in the universe.
Right. So, and then that's, as more technically, the fish out of water concept, right? So we've the adventures of the fish out of water. So this movie begins. You guys will know a little bit. You guys will immediately be able to tell us like where the authenticity begins and ends.
I should say to start with,
Jump
this
in
film.
straight away, yeah.
This film had me so close to throwing my laptop out of a window.
In the first minute.
From a medieval point of view. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
5 seconds in, I was with Mabel the first time I watched this film. 5 seconds in, she was yelling at the TV, "No, that's wrong!"
What?
Right, so the movie starts with a zoom, right? We're zooming over.
That's it.
And I think there's little
It's
captions
wrong.
to tell us where it is.
Go, tell us why it's wrong.
Well, just to give you, we're in Norwich, England, December 18th.
Are we in Norwich, England? That's what I'm like.
Well, that's, yeah, sure.
Well, you tell us.
Okay, so I don't actually know the specific castle. What I do know is that if it's a castle in Norwich, there should be a lot more going on around this castle.
Yes.
Because Norwich is an actual town. It's not just a castle in the middle of nowhere. So, and also, like, even within the castle, there should be a lot more going on. Like, there's a lot, like, a weird little Christmas market thing going on. Like, but there's only, like, 3 girls and then a load of knights. And I
specifically made a note that like a lot of the shots are framed very close up so that you can't tell whether or not there's a gas station just off to the side of the gas.
There's also like the castle is like absolutely messed up. Like there's stuff growing out of the walls and things like that. So like, it's clearly a listed building that you can't do much to, but at the same time, like try and like angle your camera to the nicer bits. Also, the one thing I should say is I appreciate how colourful it is. The medieval period is a lot more colourful than we give it credit for. So I think that was really nice. They had some deeply unclear heraldry. Deeply. Like it looks like the kind of it's like there's a crest, but it's got nothing on it. It's just kind of stamped on in gold. Like, what on earth is going on with that heraldry? And why? So yeah,
are they being fictional? I can't remember, like, because
no,
they mentioned King Edward, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
like...
no, they mentioned Edward III, who's the real king. So yeah, I think it is meant to be real, the real past. Whether it actually succeeds at that is another matter entirely.
Right, because that's what I kept saying. It's like I the first 10 minutes I was like, are they trying to be historically accurate, or are they trying to be like fantastical and just sort of like, like a Disney movie's version of Medieval Knights?
So there's something called the Tiffany problem, which is really interesting, which is that when we're looking at media that covers the medieval period, we kind of want it to be, there's a point where whether it's realistic or not would get in the way of how we feel about the medieval period, which sounds really weird, but that's what it is. It's so for example, the reason it's called the Tiffany problem is because the name Tiffany is a real medieval name. It's a very, very old name, but we don't think of the name Tiffany as being an old name.
Right.
So
what
if
about
someone was
this
called
guy's name? I wanted to know this. I did some research and I couldn't get an answer. His name is Cole.
Yes, his name is Cole. So I have a whole damn thing about this. So the thing is that actually when I first saw this with Kat, I went, sorry, what? That doesn't sound very medieval. Like what? And I actually for this went off and spoke to my very good friend, to cross podcast this. She's done an episode on this film as well. She's called Sarah Ift Decker, and she is a medieval historian who is a part of the used to run the Media Evil podcast, which is about medieval stuff in media. And I didn't listen to that episode because I didn't want to steal anything.
Good.
But basically, I messaged her and was like, just want to check. Cole is a very odd name for a medieval person, and she was like, yeah, no, Cole might have been a name, but it's not common in the slightest. So if someone was called Cole, I don't think we've got a record of it. But look at the other guys' names, because all the other guys except Geoffrey are named with the least medieval names of all time, like Blake Keaton. Blake Keaton is a dude in a bar incessantly talking about his yacht.
I'm glad somebody else saw this. So just to break down, we got to set the scene up.
Wait. Before we get to these other names, can I just ask, because Kat mentioned that she likes puns, do we think his name is Sir Cole because it sounds like
intentional?
Intentional?
I was thinking because of like Christmas coal.
Oh yeah, because you get coal in your stocking.
I didn't even make that connection.
But they pronounce it often.
Circle.
They often pronounced it like circle.
Yes.
I felt like I was losing my mind.
Accents are like, hey, circle.
All right, so we're opening this movie. We're brought to this castle, which may or may not be based on any real castle, and we're given a suite of knights that are or knights to be that are going to go on a hawking competition.
This is not what hawking is.
Okay, thank you. That was my first question. The
viewer at home. Is it hawking or falcons?
It doesn't matter. Falconry and hawking are very much the same thing. Okay. So the idea, if you are going hawking, it means you are hunting with hawks. So the idea is that you would shoot the rabbit and the hawk would bring it back for you. So in this film, they've got all these people looking for one hawk, which is mad because you don't want your hawk actually getting away from you and flying off somewhere, really, because
I thought they were chasing after a hawk. Like I thought,
but also, they
it seemed like the hawk was the prize to catch.
Yeah, they are, but that's not what hawking is. If you were actually having a hawking competition, every man would have a hawk or a falcon, and they would be helping them to hunt.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
have
true.
to say that
And
none
then
of
you
this
need to
matters
train
to
them
the
all
movie.
to use how to carry the falcon.
Then
The
make
thing
it just
is,
a paper chase. They've clearly got like fox hunting and hawking mixed up.
well,
Like,
okay. The thing is, none of this matters to the movie, but I was
no.
fascinated. I have watched this movie twice now. Once years ago when I originally watched it for the podcast, and now this time.
Same.
And they come out and they say that we're going to go hawking, and we're introduced to all these knights. And I was so curious about this competition because it appears to be they let a hawk go and people chase it. What's the end result? What do they do? How does it conclude? They never go into any of this. And so I
Do you have
looked.
to kill the hawk? Do you have
Yeah,
to
like
get
do
it
they have little
back? Like,
slingshots, or are they like?
So I took to Google and I found a wiki dedicated to I think Netflix Christmas movies, and I found an entry on this, and they have created an entry on hawking. That's one of the only things I can find about hawking on the internet is the Netflix wiki about this.
So this
And
movie
they list,
has brought it to the surface.
I think that
this
this is
film
a
has
pretty.
annoyed people so much.
And I found two things interesting about this. One, all the knights are listed that took part. How they determined this, I couldn't tell you. But yes, the names are funny. There's Aldous, there's Blake, there's Dalton, there's Marlowe, Spalding, Jeffrey, and Cole, of course.
Spalding is an accountant.
And the other thing is, in order to give this competition some context, the person who created this entry created a table where they list the eras of this competition. But because I guess this is made up, they went basically the inauguration of this contest to 1333, no date is known. Then there's this one entry for this specific competition where they chased apparently a Gwynfalt hawk. And then there's the 1335 competition to present where no data is known. Why they felt the need to encompass all of time in this table in order to express that they have no data for anything but 1 year cracked me up so much.
And yeah, it doesn't.
World building.
It's not a thing.
In this world, it is.
Apparently no one has any dinner in this world because they're just chasing after hawks all the time instead of actually using them to hunt with. No wonder they're expensive.
The main love interest Cole goes up to his brother and says, I have a plan. And he says, like, you go around here and I go around here. I was like, what does the plan do?
I have a plan for chasing this hawk. We try and find the hawk.
But we do meet Cole's
isn't
brother,
it?
right? Who seemingly is going to be important, but spoiler, is not. The brother does not really factor into the story.
The other thing is that.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, please.
The other thing is that all their horses have bells on, which if you're hunting, it seems like a horrible idea.
Oh yeah.
Like have bells for like a parade or something. Don't have them when you're out on the hunt. That'll just
Christmas.
scare off everything.
They have to have the bells. It's Christmas.
This no wonder this castle is so bloody dilapidated by 1337. Like they can't do anything. They don't have any common sense.
There's no farmers and no farms around
for
food, and they can't hunt because they've got bells on their horses. It's just like medieval. No wonder he had to time travel to find a girlfriend because
all the women.
He's not got nobody. Everyone else in England is just like, yeah, avoid them in Norwich. They're in. They're so inbred.
Don't go
So
to
once
that
the
castle.
brothers start going on their hawking quest or whatever it is, we cut to the future or present day, circa 2019, where we meet Vanessa Hudgens' character, our true protagonist, who is a science teacher
in way too tidy a classroom. I've taught in science classrooms. They are not that clean. And they don't have that few students.
That school looked like it had money though too. Like the lobby of that school was huge.
Yeah, that's true. That's a class of, I counted the seats. There are 20 students maximum in that classroom. That's like, I've had fight. Like I've seen my friends who are teachers get in fights going like, no, we can't have 35 people in up my class. And they go, oh, well, why? It's because there are 30 chairs. And it's like, oh, good news. We've got it down to 33.
Yeah.
There are still only 30 chairs. So yeah, this school must be raking it in.
Yeah. And I would have thought that the science thing was going to be more important, that it's like, oh, she's a science
Yeah.
teacher, so she's science minded, and like that's going to be challenged by this,
Mm.
sort of facing off against this like fantastical magical stuff that happens. No, not really. Like I feel like she's chill through most of this movie. I had never seen a Vanessa Hudgens movie before this one. This is the first one I ever saw. I'm gonna say I liked her. I think she's great. At least the first time I saw the movie, it
Hmm.
certainly made me watch The Princess Switch, which was like her other movie.
Wow.
But in second watching, there's not a lot to her. Like she doesn't do much, and she's just kind of like reacting to things. She's not like super proactive. But I guess the key scene is she's
Oh,
talking to one of her students, and her
This is a
students,
highly inappropriate conversation.
yes.
oh,
Tell
this
us
is
about
like
conversation.
this whole thing is a safeguarding nightmare from like a teaching perspective. And my safeguarding qualifications aren't that old, but yeah, like though I will say, like, so the kids had her like had a breakup, and she's really sad, and like she's like, and she's like, true love is, the kind that you're thinking is kind of just in fairy tales. Like what you need to do is like focus on your goals and focus on who you are, and that's actually really good advice that will be trampled on by the end of this film, in some kind of heteronormative, you know, like stampede of of patriarchal norms. But then she's alone in this classroom with this girl and then hugs her. And I was like, oh my God, like you'd be banned from teaching for life. Is that what you're trying to do? Like, are you trying to just get banned from teaching forever? Because like, yeah, teaching panel, like instant. Like, yeah, that's like I think I actually gasped
Wow.
when I saw that. Because like,
Are
put it this way,
they? I was gonna say, are they as strict in America as they are in the UK?
I hear
I honestly
mixed.
don't know.
I've heard mixed things. I've certainly been in situations where they are, very strict about it. But then every now and then I sort of hear that it's like loosening up a little bit. I think it's case specific. I definitely think if it was a male teacher, like it would have
Mm.
raised flags faster.
Mm.
I think also if the student hugs you and you just sort of like I've been in
Mm.
situations like I do a lot of author visits. And sometimes like the kids will just like hug you before you have a chance to
Yeah.
like, they're not asking for consent. So they're just like "Meow," hug. And in those cases, I just become just like, stiff as a board. I just like, freeze
Yeah.
and just let it happen.
And it does work differently in SEND as well, in special educational needs and disability, because obviously there are different sort of layers to what you're doing, and you're often more strictly vetted and trained. But like in a mainstream school, you can get in trouble for touching a student. Like, and that's even when it's to protect them. Like if you put out your hand and moved a student because a car was about to hit them, you could probably get in trouble for that. Like, you probably wouldn't on a thing of the facts, but there would be a hearing. Like, it would be a thing. So yeah, this is like, yeah, again, I audibly gasped when I watched this again and scared the cat. So not that cat, my
Okay.
cat.
Well, luckily no one reports Vanessa Hudgens' character. And we
That
cut
we know of.
back. We go
No,
we go
yeah, it's after the film.
back,
Oh.
back to the past, where our Sir Cole is wandering the forest, I guess looking for the hawk, and he encounters what I think maybe is the most realistic thing about this movie, a 40-year-old woman who he refers to as an old crone.
Yeah, we are throwing the word crone around very loosely in this film. Also, I think it's clear from how they've like dressed her up and done that things like that they wanted Dawn French and couldn't get her.
Yes.
But she's wearing like a boucle shawl from a very fashionable boutique. What looks
Yeah,
like
it doesn't read authentic. It feels very much like I kept waiting for the reveal that she's like much younger, or she's someone else pretending to be this like wizardly woman. We don't find anything out about her though. She's not. She is just a plot device.
good plot device.
Yes. And so she's very cagey in her like mission to him. Like I found it very weird because I guess like this is where you would know more, Mabel, and even Kat. I think you might know more. Joe, you might as well. I don't know a lot about knights. Like I'm just being honest. I like fell asleep in school. Um, like I thought he said he was a knight. Like he's like, hi, I'm a knight. Like he is a knight. But then he keeps. But then she's like, but you're not a true knight until you go on this like special quest. And then he's like, oh shit, I gotta go on this special quest.
I am pleased to announce that this is all bollocks.
Okay.
This is total bollocks that seems to be taken from like a weird like reading of chivalry and like the idea of the chivalric code, which is not really a thing either. So chivalry is kind of a made up thing based on a made up thing based on a made up thing. Yeah, I think I know knights might have followed it a bit, you know, it's mainly to do with like courtly love, not courtney love, very, very important distinction. But yeah, no, it was really confusing hearing him go on about, oh, I cannot be a true knight until I'm like, you got knighted by the king.
Yeah, like, that's what I didn't understand. Like
that's about as true knight as you can
but
get.
But he seems like really worried that
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
he doesn't do this, like somehow it's all gonna go away for him.
Yeah,
or, like,
do
I
they
don't know,
rescind your knighthood to go like, now you must be,
like, oh,
now you can really
knighted
be an
under
esquire.
false, yeah, you were knighted under false pretenses. So
Yeah, like
we're gonna
what on
rescind your
earth?
knighthood.
Yeah,
And
it's
you have
really
to go and
weird.
sit. You have to go and sit at a different table, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you get like the kid table.
Or you get demoted
just-
to day. I am no longer
Yeah.
a knight, I am a day.
I really like the idea that they give you like your fish fingers on a tray and make you sit in make you sit in a corner with the other kids.
So this interaction was really confusing to me, and it's one of those things in these movies, which as you're watching it going along, it's fine, but then in retrospect, it doesn't really make sense. So she's presented as a mysterious woman in the forest that he's worried about because it's snowing and it's cold, and he sees her out there, and she's supposedly old and frail, and he's like, "Oh no, you need to be protected. You need the help." And so it's sort of that idea of this crone, this witch is presenting herself as like unbecoming and maybe kind of off-putting, and yet he's still kind to her. So he proves his worthiness. But
Sounds good on paper, but not in execution.
That idea is immediately dropped because his kindness and caring to her is not mentioned. It's just disregarded, and she moves on to saying your brother's going to be knighted, which is like, I know more about you than you expect, kind of a pull. And he's like, whoa, that's weird, and that doesn't matter either because she's moving on to the next thing. Where because he's kind, she's going to give him some sort of insight into his destiny. Okay, cool. And then she gives him some weird little hints about dragons, steel dragons in the sky, and a
magic
box that shows
that
wonders.
make merry.
Okay, so it's like his future. He's going to literally the future. Gotcha. No, that doesn't matter either. Don't worry, we're still here. And then she goes, now I'm going to curse you without using those words with a quest.
Right.
That you,
Yeah, like
that's what I don't understand. It's like you won a prize and a penalty at the same time.
Yeah, like
was he being given this, or was he being like pushed upon him?
Like you genuinely could have just dropped all the weird true quest stuff. Like what is even the point of that being there? Because like you could just have, I know of you, you've been kind to me, here, have this amulet, it's going to reveal your destiny. That could have been it. That like you don't need some kind of weird true quest that you must complete by midnight on Christmas.
Right, the Cinderella, like you've got until midnight to do this thing.
And also the whole Christmas thing is weird for other reasons, which is
it
that,
has
like
to. It's
at
a
that
Christmas.
point,
We know that's
no, I know,
but you got to put the Christmas.
But if we're going,
but
if we're going by medieval standards, the deadline for the day of Christmas is 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve. That's why it's called Christmas Eve, because it is the
night
when the bus will
stop. I've heard.
Yeah. So that's what, yeah, pretty much. But that's the night of Christmas, because back in the sort of Anglo-Saxon period, the day began at 3 p.m., which is why, like, we have Halloween, which is All Hallows Eve, and Christmas Eve, which is, the eve of. It doesn't mean before Christmas. It means that night. So because our day started the night before, that's why. So if she was really going for it, she wouldn't have midnight as a deadline. It would be 3 p.m. on Christmas, Christmas Eve.
Right, but she knew she was going to send him to Ohio.
Oh yeah, our world. Yeah. So in
So now we're on.
And
Now we're
also-
playing by Ohio rules.
and now the time zone's all screwy.
Well, now she also says if you don't complete this, you never become a true knight.
Right.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
what
Why
means?
have
What does
that
that
there?
mean?
You just said like, oh, you did this nice thing for me. So now I'm like you're right. It's like it should have just been something like, I see who you truly are, and you're not living up to your true potential. So I'm gonna help you find what you really are looking for. Like I can tell that you're like, you're not satisfied with this. Like establish that. Like show him not fulfilled in his life in some way.
Yeah.
And say like, I'm gonna help you find the thing that's missing.
Set up some plot. Something. Don't have 5, 6 plots going on at once.
No,
for
but there's a
whatever
magic
reason.
amulet.
Have one. No! The magic amulet could very well just be the plot. That's fine.
So the magic amulet takes him to present day. His horse runs off. Of course, it's like a Disney horse. It's like, has personification, which we love to see.
Wait, did the horse travel through time with him?
No.
I didn't think
Not
so.
at first. Not at first.
Okay,
first.
that's what I've been
Yeah.
doing with that. Right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, no, the
So
horse
you're
runs
leaving
off
it-
to tell the horse runs home to tell the brother.
Right, that's right. Yes.
The horse is
He's
my
like,
favorite
"Nay,
character.
nay, Cole has been taken. So we see Vanessa Hudgens' character, whose name is Brooke, I believe. And now she's hanging out with her niece, and they're going to a holiday market because we got to have some holiday market in there. We know that that's important.
At the Christmas castle.
Yeah.
Why is there a castle? Is this a thing? Is this an American thing that I'm not getting?
No.
Here's what I'll tell you.
Is a Christmas castle like a regular thing?
Nope.
Here's the beauty of
we
about
don't have
it.
like
Here's
we
the
don't have
beauty
like
of
Ren
America.
fairs over here. So
Here's the beauty of America. We don't have our own history, so we just take everything. So like, do we have Christmas castles? Probably, yeah. We probably have some Christmas castles.
I mean, you do have your own history. You just
I know, but
killed a
I'm just
lot
saying,
of the people who
we've
had
got,
it.
we've got a lot of mashup. We take
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of stuff. We got a lot of mashups, cultural stew happening. So
Mm.
I
if you-
didn't blink about the castle because I could see that.
No, it's just silly because if you watch enough of these movies, there's always this Christmas, contraption like a Christmas market, a Christmas fair, a Christmas pageant. And so in order to tie it into the medieval theme, this
Yeah,
Christmas event is the Christmas castle. And it's
I mean,
it's just silly.
I mean, like, we have a Victorian Christmas market in Truro, but that makes sense because, like, Dickens and stuff.
Right.
Like,
No, we
like,
have
that
those
makes
too.
sense.
There's a Victorian
How-
Christmas market on Long Island, New York, for no reason, but we accept that we like it and we take it. But we also have a lot of German stuff, right? There's a lot of like German Christmas market stuff here too, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not in this movie. That's like the least objectionable.
I've seen German Christmas markets. I've seen Victorian Christmas markets. I have never seen a medieval Christmas market.
They're doing their own thing. This is
Maybe,
by the way, this is Bracebridge, Ohio, which I love because Bracebridge, Ohio is not a real place. But Bracebridge, Ontario is, and that's where the movie was actually filmed. So they were like, let's just call it Bracebridge, Ohio, even though
So we don't have to change any of the signs.
Yep.
What were you saying, Kat, about the market?
I was just going to say, maybe, because like he seems remarkably unfazed by the fact that he just traveled hundreds of years into, so maybe like this crone has gone, yes, I'm going to baffle him with his stupidly pointless quest, but at least I'll make him land somewhere that looks a little bit classy. He'll be fine.
Right. It's a transitionary. It's like the holding pen to like help him transition between the two worlds. Yeah, I had a note. There's one of my favorite lines in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is when Bill goes over to Billy the Kid and he's like, Billy, you're adjusting to the oddities of time travel with the greatest of ease. And like that's Sir Cole. He's a little like, this is different, but he's not freaking out. Like he's kind of like, all right, like he just rolls with the magic of it all.
He figures out a remote. He figures out a remote so quick. I know I'm thinking a little bit forward, but like I can't use my remote that well.
Yeah.
How can you do it?
I've seen you use a remote. I know that's true.
He figures out how to use Alexa. I have no clue.
I love the fact that there's a precocious child, just because every like rubbish Christmas film has to have a precocious child, which is lovely. That's pretty much all I've written for the Christmas market. Like, I didn't have many thoughts about the Christmas market because it just looked very Christmas markety.
I made a note that at the final scene, spoiler, there's a scene at the end in the Christmas market. It looks nice. Like, it actually looks like
it looks like a lovely market.
It looks like
I
a
would
lovely
go.
market, which is not the case for a lot of these movies. They
Like, apparently it has good hot chocolate, which is, you know, something. Just it better have some good mulled cider or like mulled wine. Like, that would be that's my ranking for Christmas markets is entirely based on the mulling of the alcohol involved.
Well, speaking of the hot chocolate, so he runs into Brooke, his eventual love interest, literally runs into her, and she spills hot chocolate on him, which he immediately licks from his hand, which I thought was weird. Because if someone spilled something on me, I'm not immediately thinking, what's it taste like?
Yeah. And then calls it mead when it's nothing like mead. Like,
this guy thinks everything is mead. Like, everything
Yeah,
is
like-
mead to him.
No, there were different things in the medieval period other than mead.
Like, mead was like all-purpose liquid.
Fun Christmas fact is that mulled wine, which I don't know how popular it is in America, but mulled wine is actually was a fairly popular drink in the medieval period. It was called Hippocras, and it is the closest thing you can get to it now is Buckfast, which is a legendary drink. It's called Buckfast, and it is a tonic wine that can be enjoyed in, even though it is from Devon, can be enjoyed in many bits of Scotland.
I wonder what the tone was and enjoyed.
And will screw you up in a big way. But yeah, that's so yeah, Hippocras as like mulled wine was like a whole thing. So like he should know Christmas, mead is not the only option by like a long chalk. Like, I would be closer to calling it ale because of like the sort of, because it's more of a thicker texture, you know, like hot chocolate. So I'd be closer to calling it some kind of strange cooked ale. But they had milk. They had milk. Why would they not just call it like hot milk? Like, it's like, sure, the chocolate doesn't exist, but
they're playing up the medieval, right?
Why?
They're like, it's like bingo cards.
I know,
Like, how
I know,
many,
but
like, it's
also
medieval
you
times.
did come.
You know, do you know what medieval times is? That's like our.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's
and
our
it sounds
dining, theater, restaurant, entertainment, where we.
It sounds horrific. I
It's
don't
a caricature of.
Don't take a medievalist there. But like, yeah, I was gonna say you did get a medievalist on this podcast, so I think any attempt to explain that this is for sensible reasons is gonna fall on deaf ears.
Well, as a medievalist, can you tell me, is the phrase "oh, be jabbers"? Is that culturally accurate?
I've never heard it.
That's one of he has a bunch of like really silly exclamations that he says.
Yeah, some of them are wild. I enjoy them, but I can't
right,
say
so
that they're
she
real.
hits him. So Cole is wandering around the streets after their meet cute, and he's lost in the snow. And for some reason, Vanessa Hudgens hits him with her car. This, I feel like a common trope.
I'm going to pause for a second. This is not important. Again, none of this matters. But at the fair, we see that the crone has arrived in the present day, and she's taken the form of Mrs. Claus at a Santa Claus display. And so he sees the crone there, and he goes to the Santa Claus, and he's like, "Crone, what are you doing here?" It turns out, if she turns back to normal, it's not her. Okay, whatever. But this brings us to the Santa that's there. And he has kids coming up to say what their Christmas wishes. And one of the guys that we're going to be introduced to, who's a guy named David, who has three kids. And apparently life's not four. Okay. Yeah, so life's going rough for David. Yeah, exactly. We'll learn more about David later on, but this is an introduction to him. He's in line with his children. They go up. It's their turn. One of the kids sits in Santa's lap, asks for something. I think it was a new bike. And Then they all leave. And I'll write my notes. Why don't any of the other kids get to have any Christmas wishes? And this is one of the things that these movies do is they have to play shorthand. So you got to know that this guy exists. And you got to know that this kid wants a bike. And then the Santa looks at the dad, and the dad shakes his head like, that's not happening this year. So Santa's like, we'll do our best. But we don't actually need to treat anything else with any seriousness. So they just walk away. None of the other kids get to talk to Santa.
It's because they're poor. They have to prioritize one child.
Only
one child.
Cost?
Yeah. Only one child gets any kind of Christmas present this year.
So yeah, I just thought that stood out to me as one of these things that these movies do, where they just do it to say they've done it, but then they don't actually pay attention to it.
They work in shorthands.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's wild. But yeah, it's
Yeah, and I always notice the filming of them too, because like sometimes these people are so not important that they barely get any screen time. Like it's like, here's this dad, but like he's always filmed from like the side or to the back. He never gets like, he has like 3 lines of dialogue. He's talked about more than he is like actually a talking physical character.
But so yeah, that's a full effect. But so now she spent the night with her car.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, which I think is a trope in a lot of these kinds of specials. Like there's a lot of people hitting people with cars.
Are you okay?
Fear not. I've been thrown much further by much faster horses than your steel steed.
Actually, I think people don't pay attention. These films do not pay attention enough to the fact that, like, hitting someone even very lightly with a car can screw them up. Like, my sister got tapped by a braking car once in the street, and it screwed up her hip for years. Like, she got, like, a fracture in her hip that lasted for years. Like, you know, like, even if you get bumped at, like, 5 miles an hour, it's still excessively dangerous. Like, take the guy straight to the hospital.
Well, they do, at least. They do take him to the hospital.
Yeah, they do
She
take
at
him to the
least,
hospital.
like, is sort of following up, which, you know, we can say it's because, you know, insurance purposes. But
And they've
know
got,
it's
like,
also concern.
they've got his armor in bags, and the armor would be way heavier than any of those people are making it look.
Yeah, he constantly, like, just pulls his armor out. Like,
That armor's
at a
made of, like,
moment's notice,
spun...
like,
That
it's
armor's
like,
made of, like, spun sugar or something.
yeah. I thought it was like in a ring, you know, like in The Flash, he keeps his costume. in his ring.
Yeah.
Wait, he's seriously hit by this car. It throws him quite a bit. And he gets right up and he acts like he's fine. The other thing here is he mentions like, oh, I've been thrown much further by horses than your steel steed could have.
God.
And it's the idea that he's already normalizing these ridiculous things that he's seeing around him. He's not freaked out by him. He hasn't lost his mind somehow. He's just okay.
This guy's mind is clearly already, like, riddled with syphilis. And that's the only explanation I have for how he's, like, so chill for, like, all of this.
It's his imagination. He's just got a very, like, open
He's got such an open mind. It has fallen out. And
someone who's watched a lot of these, I guess, reverse, what do you call it? Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court.
Oh, Kid in King Arthur's Court, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the reverse of that, right? It drives me crazy that they always do the same stuff, and like specifically the horse is the car sort of becomes the steed, like there's minstrels in the radio and like all these.
They have carriages. It's not a metal horse. They have carriages. It's a metal carriage, if anything.
Like, even if it was a metal horse, like, what about it seems like it's alive to you? Like, what about it, like your suspension of disbelief is just too much. Like, it's one thing for just a quick moment, but it's a running gag. Like, it's a running thing where he, like, later he's like, hey, can I borrow your horse? Like, you know, it's like, it drives me crazy.
At least teach him the word for it before you let him drive a car for some reason.
Like, you're explaining other things. Why can't you just take 2 minutes and be like, it's not a horse, dude?
Yeah. I also want to say that when she takes him back to her house, like...
Well, no, her guest house.
No, wait. Well, this is the one thing. Is that, like, they clearly had to do, because, like, the idea is, like, her parents are dead and they left her the house and the guest house, but, like, they had to do some big explaining as to how a teacher could live in such a massive house. Like her inheritance is also like her inheritance is going towards like mad amounts of lights. Everything is decorated to within an inch of its life.
That's
How
America.
did she find the time to even do that? Like
Yeah.
with teaching.
Yeah, no, most
If she
teachers I know
doesn't,
work
if
like
she
60
doesn't
hours a
do it,
week.
the other neighbors will, riot, right? There's other
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
specials there's other Christmas specials that explain the
the
neighborhood
HOA will
coding,
go mad.
the zoning laws. It's like you have to maintain a certain
Oh.
level of Christmas, or else
Well,
you
so
can't have a
go back.
Christmas special.
He goes to the hospital because he's been hit by a car, and when she picks him up, or she goes to just make sure he's okay, and he comes out holding his armor, which is very light, and he says, "Cole, I'm so glad you're okay." He replies, "'Tis Sir Cole." He feels the need to call her out on not referring to him as a
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
And I was like,
Because
this is
he's a knight.
bizarre. How passive aggressive is this?
Yeah,
Where did that come from?
Right. So is he a knight or is he not a knight? Right?
He's not a true knight. After
Not
that, you
a
have to call
true
him
knight.
True Sir Cole.
Yeah, Sir Cole. Yeah, okay. Um, so this is
Yeah,
where we have like the
Also,
classic, like this is basically Hot Frosty, if you guys have
yeah,
seen
yeah.
Hot Frosty and many other
It's
classic
I
Christmas specials.
like I like that all her ex left behind was ugly Christmas clothing. Like she's like, I'll go get you some clothes. My ex probably left something, and all he's left is like just ugly Christmas jumpers. Like ugly Christmas jumpers for days.
so she lets him stay in a guest house, which is massive
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
enormous.
filled with rooms. And
And
it
it's
has
decorated to the hilt. Were you expecting?
exactly. It has
Where have they
hundreds-
gone now that this random place is there?
It's filled with furniture, wall decorations. It's a full-on home. It has its own Alexa. Why?
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about Alexa for a second? Because I was like, wait, is this made by Amazon or Netflix? Because the amount of Alexa in this special.
All Alexa can play is the worst versions of Christmas songs as well. Like, and I think it's because there's no copyright on them because no one will claim to have made a song that bad. Like they're like, hey, didn't you do that? You should claim for the money. And like, no, I didn't write a song I didn't write that song. No, absolutely not. No, a version of Silent Night on harmonica. No.
Looks like when they're in the car and she introduces him to the minstrels and the radio, and they start playing, and I've heard so many of these at this point, all of these library Christmas songs that are just part of some like none of them are ones you've heard before. They all are just they're about Christmas in weird ways, and that's all that her radio plays.
But they are at the end because one, I noticed that there's Lindsey Sterling, who's a famous like electronic violinist. Like she's got a song in this, and then the end credits is Bare Naked Ladies.
Wow.
Oh, I did not stay long enough to hear that.
No, I didn't hit stay long enough for the credits. I like also that all there is on TV are like other bad Christmas films. It's just Inception at this stage. Like
One of them is, I mean, I'm sure they're all, but one of them is specifically a Netflix Christmas film I could identify.
At
They
this
should have
point,
called
that
them like
becomes a running joke
Spiral
for
rather than Circle because it's just
yeah.
Also, why did the officer let her take this stranger home into her home? Why would you want?
Why did the officer let him take his sword with him?
Yeah.
it is well like America leaving
Oh
carrying
yeah. No, you're
stuff
right.
around. Like
Yeah.
here,
Right
you're not
to-
even
right to
legally
conceal.
allowed to have scissors. Like
Yeah.
legally,
You're
you're
not
not even
allowed
allowed to have scissors
That sword would
outside of your
definitely
house.
not be. Oh no, that sword actually might be allowed because it's a double-edged weapon. It's only single-edged swords that aren't allowed here. So I think that sword would be allowed. Yeah, it's a whole like anti-Asian weird like anti-ninja thing. So you know how back in the day the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles weren't allowed to be called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because we had a big thing about like how scary ninjas were, so we called them Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles instead. That's so like there's this huge like and there's a lot of like weird anti-ninja laws, and that has stretched to katanas. So you can't have a sharpened katana, but you can have a two-edged sword.
Like they were worried that people would imitate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I think, although I'm not sure whether a two-edged sword is still allowed, it's really weird. It's a weird set of laws that I've never paid attention to because I don't tend to carry bladed weapons around with me.
It only seems strange that it would be in your country where you guys do have a history of swords and like weaponry in a way that we don't. Like we just have
Yeah, not allowed to have crossbows, I know that much. But yeah, the fact that he let him just take the sword home with, and that he brings it to dinner. Like, dude, just, and then like later on in the film, she's like, leave the sword, and he just leaves it, but he just leaves it like in the garden in the snow. Like, take better care of your sword, man.
Yeah,
It's like someone's either gonna steal it or it's gonna rust. Like mate.
Right. So they go to the diner.
With
Where
a sword.
my first note was like, I'm impressed that he can read. I guess that was just my own ignorance that I just assumed knights couldn't read, but I guess they probably were educated, right?
Yeah, to an extent. So literacy is an interesting concept in the medieval period. I'm really sorry. This is just what happens now when you're on a podcast with me. Literacy is an interesting concept in the medieval period, but because literacy literally means like how good you are at reading Latin, not English. So, but English looks very different now to how it looked then.
That's
so
what I figured.
I am quite surprised that and the writing is really different as well. So like,
because he doesn't flinch at it at all. He's just like
No.
He reads well enough that he can be sarcastic about the dining options at the restaurant.
Yeah, that is surprising to me. Because that like standardized spelling didn't come in for another 450 years. So yeah. And the fact that it's all printed. Like the printing press isn't invented for another century. Like he must have been like, wow, they've got like scribes everywhere who just
He's imagining like the
spend
kitchen
all
filled
their
with monks
time.
with
Scribes, yeah.
scribing
There's
out
not
the
ne-
menu.
There's not nearly enough illuminations on this menu. What's going on? Where's the Celtic knotwork?
Where are the killer bunnies?
We get our cultural clash where he calls the waitress a wench, and that's where Brooke pushes back and she's like, we don't use that term anymore. And he's like, oh, okay. And then she mentions that her ex-boyfriend is in the diner and he doesn't flinch at that. Like, that's what I was like, I think it's funny that for all the things that he doesn't understand or the things that are culturally different, like the concept of boyfriends and girlfriends and casual dating is like not a thing. Like that should be like a little bit more of like, oh,
yeah,
wow,
that
like,
should.
you're in a situationship? What's that? Tell me more.
She does say that's my ex, and then she pauses and is like, I should explain that. It's the guy I used to date. And he's like, okay, now I got it. I'm with you.
Yeah, a man I previously courted is probably the better term for.
She explains that
I really
he cheated on her, and he wants to kill the man at that point.
Yeah,
he pulls his sword out to murder him.
I mean, clearly, if that had really happened, like in the medieval period, you'd been taken to ecclesiastical court, but I don't think you'd just be going around killing people. That we had a whole court to deal with this stuff.
Not according to him, because he's disappointed in the way gallantry has changed.
That's right. That's right.
Oh dear.
Some things, they're speaking to the conservative watchers, that are just like, yeah, we should go back to those old days.
Yeah, that was another thing. At some point, it's well later in the film, but she says, he says, oh, clearly chivalry has changed since the days of yore, and she's like, I prefer yore over mine, and like, no, like that was the point where I was about ready to flip the laptop out the window because, like, no, it's less like crazy than people think it was, but it still was not good. Like medieval dating app, a medieval dating app would just be like you clicked female and it would be like you are to wed toppers. Like
yeah,
like come
being
on.
a woman then would not be fun.
No, she wouldn't enjoy it. She would not be allowed to be, you wouldn't you didn't tend to, especially that high up where it's knights and stuff, you don't tend to marry for true love or whatever.
It's not all
you will be expected to breed until you die.
Although you would be expected to have an orgasm because it was believed that both parties had to orgasm for conception.
Okay.
He did not
So,
mention that in the diner.
so if he didn't make her come, she could take him to ecclesiastical court and have the marriage annulled.
There you go. Good to know.
These are the facts you get with
I was
me.
gonna say they leave all the good bits out of these specials.
Yeah, I know.
Why was
One
that
thing
not
I noticed-
mentioned?
One thing I noticed, I forgot to mention this. In the guest house, there's a full-on fireplace, and it is roaring
Yeah.
when they get back from the diner. And she does not instruct him on how to care for this. She just leaves the diner. And she leaves the guest house with him, and he has the diner going, and she starts the Alexa playing, and just leaves it playing for him, and assumes he'll figure out how to make it stop. And I thought, that's a curse you've given this man. He needs to rest. And yet this machine is just going to yell at him all night.
I'm glad I brushed up against that as well. That seemed a little odd.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, this is a man with a head injury that you believe has amnesia because of a head injury. You are going to want to sit him down in a quiet room and give him
Also,
like give him some water to sip, not
in
gulp.
2019, that was an expensive piece of equipment, and he's established that he doesn't know how to operate it. So you're basically like leaving him to his own devices. So then you're surprised when he puts it into the freezer to shut it up.
I mean, surely it would have shut up when he unplugged it. Why did he need to put it in the freezer? Surely when he unplugged it and realized, oh, it stopped. You stop. You just drop it. Like, come on.
So
Also,
Joe and I have talked
TV,
about
he watched
how
TV all night. That's everything else.
Yeah.
Joe and I have talked about how all these specials, it's almost like you could play a drinking game about every time they try to work in something Christmassy, specifically like the hot beverages, right? So it's like hot cocoa, hot chocolate, hot cider, or like some sort of baked goods, right? Like something.
When you say cider, you don't mean cider, do you? You
No,
mean apple juice.
we mean like the apple juice that is heated. That's sort of.
Yeah, you mean like cloudy, heated,
for
cloudy
us,
apple
hot
juice.
cider is what mulled wine would be in like Christmas markets by you guys.
Yeah, we also have mulled cider, but it's alcoholic cider.
It can be here as well. Like the
Because we can't.
We will at a Christmas market, you usually will have the option of having with or without.
Yeah, it'd be mulled apple juice here, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, but there's usually like whiskey in it or something.
No, not if you had mulled apple juice, it would just be alcohol free.
No, I
but
mean here.
Cider is. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I mean, case by case. Like I go to a lot of different
yeah
markets, so I've seen it all. But
I've seen it all.
I have.
Oh, over the years, I've seen all the Christmas markets.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So where do we go with the big
becomes, in this case,
this man is so full of cheese.
This night's drug of choice becomes hot chocolate, and that becomes the running gag that he becomes like obsessed with his hot cocoa or hot chocolate, and he just wants to drink it all the time. But he calls it
his
mead
poor teeth.
It's still it's my mead, which okay.
You think you just learn words for things? He learns the words for some stuff and not for other stuff, and it makes me just go. My brain just boil in my skull.
So we also introduced to Brooke's sister, who I guess is the parent of the precocious child that we met earlier. And what I love about the sister is, like, in sort of classic fashion, the sister's basically like, yeah, sure, he doesn't have his memory. Sure, he doesn't have a house. Sure, we know nothing about him, but he's the whole package. What a great guy. Like, we got to set you up with it. Like, the sisters are always pushing like any fresh meat onto these women that they can
give him a psychological exam first.
This meeting when he tries on the clothes that Brooke's sister has brought him. He also starts introducing the lingo that he's learned apparently from the TV. And he says, "What do you think of these awesome new threads? Go straight fire." And they love having him say things like that. And
it's the fact that he does it in an American accent as well.
Right.
Like,
yes.
And how good is his American accent? I want to know for a very specific reason.
He said that he watched one night of television. That's where he picked it up.
Is it how good is his American accent? I need to know.
It's fine, actually.
It's
I mean,
fine, yeah.
Okay.
it feels like he's putting it on. Like it definitely,
Because
but it also
because this
plays.
act
It's not meant to pass as like how
yeah.
good it is. It's just supposed to be. It's for comical effect, so it works
Yeah.
for what it's supposed to be.
I want to know because this actor is from Poldark, is what he's known
Right.
for, and
Yeah.
Poldark is obviously set in our part of the world, and
That's
the accents
right.
are atrocious. Like the accents are really bad. Like it's very hard to do a good Cornish accent.
I have to say, there's a better time than now. I think he did a fine job in this movie. I enjoyed his performance. He's a very likable
Yeah.
actor.
Mm. No, he wasn't really good. I think the medievalism kind of clouded my like properly looking to see like what the performances were like. But you know, he was definitely really watchable.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Mabel, you have no idea. Like I watch hundreds of these, and I think out of the hundreds that I've watched, there's probably like 5 men that I can tolerate for these. Like usually I'm like, these guys are not worth it. Like these, get out of here. These guys are not like when you told me that there's a game show where guys are auditioning, like and I'm just
Oh,
like,
it's great. It's so
yes,
bad.
please, because who's winning? Because like usually they're just like, fine, any guy is
Oh,
good enough.
they're
This
really
guy
bad. Like
actually has charisma. He actually
yeah,
has like a warmth to him. Like he's very
it's
cute.
true.
Like
Yeah.
he's very wholesome. And
Like as I say, I make my partner watch many of these per year, and the dudes usually come across as like sort of like, oh no, if I met this person in a pub, I would run. Like I would,
Yeah,
I
like
would
he's not
actually
douchey, is he? He's
no,
not like
no.
major douchey.
well, that's it.
If he came into a pub, I wouldn't cover my drink.
Yeah, you're right, because they avoid like 60% of these specials. They usually have they start out as antagonists and like have this combative relationship. So and then we find out that like it's the Mr. Darcy thing where it's like, oh, he was the one supporting the shelter the whole time,
Yeah.
and he's
He
like
was only grumpy because his daughter died in a terrible ice skating accident.
That would be a bad ice skating accident.
Right. But this one, he starts off as a nice guy, like right off the bat, and they have to kind of create other obstacles. And I think that's kind of where this falls short for me, is I do wish there was a little bit more struggle that keeps them from getting together, because it does, like every time they almost kiss, it feels so forced, because you're like, there's nothing stopping them from making out right now. Like they're clearly
That's why I
that moment.
I thought that was quite nice though, because not that I watch a lot of romantic stuff, but I hate when the guys are like super pushy and it's just like she's clearly not into you, and then you have a romantic ending and it's like, yeah, but she wasn't into you. She was saying no in every way apart from saying no. And now you're meant to make me feel happy that they're together. Whereas in this one it felt genuinely like, you know, he wasn't pushy and that was nice.
No, yeah. No, I thought it was quite nice. I just meant like it would be nice if they were like they want to get together, but there's something else stopping them from, like in this, the 11th hour attempt at that is the redheaded neighbor who is oh no, is she gonna get in the way of their love? No,
no, no, not at all.
No, she isn't.
It's so empty and so half-assed. Like like even the movie can't bother to really make this woman like try very hard. Like she's like.
Also, I think they were really like the way they frame her is really horrible. Like this redheaded lady who's like, and she's, and they're like, oh, she's just she won biggest flirt in high school. Why are we having these competitions in high school? Like, what the hell is going on in American high schools where there's like a biggest flirt competition? Or like
shaming.
Why are we being so rude about this woman who just seems really nice?
She does, yeah.
Like she just seems nice.
She's only in 2 scenes of the movie. The first of which is like coming over and like being like, hey, do you want to go to this
being
cool
a bit
thing?
flirty, yeah.
And then at the end, she's like, hey, I've got this mistletoe. And she doesn't even need him to say anything. She says, maybe you should do it with someone you really want to do it with. And
that is a great, nice woman.
Cool.
Like the hell.
It is nice, but it's ridiculous. Her first scene has her being incredibly aggressive, not in an off-putting way, but just like she sees a completely new person in town, and she walks over and is like, "Do you want to go out later?" And he's like, "I'm busy." And then fast forward towards the end, where they're at this party of sorts, and she sees him again. She's like, "Here's some mistletoe. Maybe we need to have a kiss." And he's like, "Well, I don't know." And then she sees that his attention is kind of diverted over to the main lady, Brooke, and she's
The
like, "Well,
woman
you know
whose
what? It's
house
fine."
he's living in.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, "You
Not
know
that
what?
woman you've
Maybe
been with the whole time.
this isn't a good idea." It's like, what was her point in the whole story? She didn't continue the same
saying.
energy
It's
from the
like
first scene.
it feels so like we have to have this moment, so here it is. But there's no passion
Yeah.
for it. There's no interest. This poor woman got cast in this movie just so that she could have these two scenes.
Like, have her be like, if you really wanted to ramp that angle up, have her be like someone who bullied this girl in high school and like works in a works in like a pivotal place in the town and is continually trying to thwart her for other things as well, and is like, do that. Like, actually make it. So much of this film is bringing in things and then not making them a thing. Like, they've just thrown everything at the wall to see what sticks, and almost nothing has stuck.
Yeah, and I think what gets
That would get in
lost.
the way of his quest that never is defined.
It's true.
But
yeah,
even
yeah.
in this movie, they don't like. There's at least 3 scenes where the characters admit they don't even know what the quest is. So they're wandering around like, I guess we'll go back to the Christmas market. I guess we'll like help this. That will stop a crime. They like he stops a robbery from taking place.
Yeah.
He saves these 2 girls who have wandered out onto the ice, which I guess we should stop and talk about because that's kind of like the big moment, I guess, of this
And
movie.
also, they're like, oh, when he sees the policeman sees him stopping this robber, and he's like, yes, I kind of see that you do what we do. Knights didn't do that. Like, that's not a knight's job. That's a sheriff, man. Like, if you're a knight going around doing this, you're in a rubbish town. Like, you're in a really rubbish. Like, this is just Norwich at this stage is clearly the worst town in England. like nothing is right. They've got their knights acting as sheriffs. None of them can hunt. Like, there's a whole problem. A whole
because
issue
it's this
going on.
idea.
That's what she's saying. He's not a true knight. He's doing
Yeah, because you won't do any of the things the knights do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a superhero version of what a knight is, right? Like, they're just like, oh, we can't lie. He's Superman, basically. It's like, I can't lie.
Yeah.
I'm dedicated to truth, justice, and the Norwegian
He's he's clearly just picked. It's clearly just been like scraped, cut, like skinned wholesale from the corpse of Dragonheart, and then tried to be grafted onto this film.
But so if his quest is to do kind things and like help people out, why is he not getting Vanessa, what's her name, Brooke, to eat her food? Like, they're sat at the diner and all his food is gone, and she still has an entire plate of food that she's like looking at. He's getting fat on hot chocolates and she's getting skinny, not eating anything. I'm like, come on, man. Why do you not want to like encourage her to eat something? Like, that would be a chivalrous thing to do, right?
This is setting up enormously terrible expectations for how women eat burgers, because let me tell you, I went for burgers tonight and and no, there was nothing left.
Why would you order and pay for that on your meager teacher's wages?
No.
That's a trope in all media, not specific to Christmas movies, that drives me crazy.
No,
it's it's the parents who make like, oh, I made pancakes and bacon and eggs for the kids, and the kid's like, I'm not hungry, and they walk out of the building. People who like go to these restaurants and they like order amazing food and they just get up and leave. It's like,
my grandparents would be like, my grandparents would be like having a right go at me for that. They'd be like, the starving children in Africa would be being brought out of the special box to be like, what are you wasting food for?
So he saves these 2 girls, the niece and her friend from.
Where the kids learn that poor people existed.
Before that, they spend some time getting to know each other. They do things like decorating. And then he says, can I borrow your steed?
Yeah.
And she says, oh, did you remember how to drive? Because she's still under the assumption that he's lost his memory somehow. And he lies. He knowingly lies. and says
Which he's
yes.
not allowed to do as a knight in
He's
Dragon's
not a
Heart.
knight.
True. He says it that I'm not allowed to lie.
And then he takes his keys and he drives. And this is so reckless for so many reasons. And the movie treats it like as a fun thing. This is her car. Those are expensive. He could kill people. Even when he parked it, he almost ran into the front of the store. And the movie is just like, oh, that's so fun. It's fun.
I
There's
also
like
have to
in the
put...
snow, right?
Yes.
That's not safe driving conditions if you're a good driver.
That's not even safe horse conditions.
No.
Right. You at least tie the horse up to something.
I also feel the need to sound the medieval klaxon that they go cutting Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Christmas trees were not a thing until the 19th century. They're not a thing. And he's like, oh, yes, my Christmas tree. I remember cutting Christmas trees. No, you don't. And then he's like, when Christmas came, there would be a stocking and we would have an orange and a halfpenny. Like, one, a halfpenny is quite a lot of money for a kid in those days. And also, there weren't any oranges either. They weren't a thing until like the 15th, 16th centuries. And even then, you would have to be basically royalty to have an orange. Like, what kind of... The orange is worth so much more than the halfpenny at this stage. Like, just give them the money you spent to get one of these impossible fruits. Like, that you've clearly walked to, like, Egypt for or something.
Yeah.
It also was confusing to me how he even found where he was trying to get to with the car. Because apparently he was trying to go back to the Christmas castle. How did he find it? The police officer we've met before finds the car on a curb near a storefront, apparently calls our main lady Brooke. She comes and rescues him.
I think it's crashed into a pole as well. Like, he's actually crashed the car.
She scolds him, not very long. And then it's just nice to him. He's like, I'm just trying to find an answer to find my quest, which is my goal. And it's just
she doesn't care. She doesn't care she's on that science teacher money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, her character doesn't have any strong opinions or like definitive viewpoints. So she's just kind of like, okay, like she just like goes along with it.
She's a nice woman in a Netflix Christmas film. She's not allowed to have opinions. You can only have opinions if by the end of the film you're not going to have any opinions anymore. Because a man's going to have those for you.
Oh.
But they're being progressive
because
she does science.
Oh yeah, she does science. Oh,
she does science. Therefore, we are very modern.
We never see the science, but we hear tell there was probably some science equation on the chalkboard that let us know that science is at some point or in time.
And now she must fit the mold of the woman.
Yeah.
But that
the only science you'll be doing is baking, my love.
There's a lot of nothing that happens at this point.
There's a lot of stuff we've seen in other movies, including the kids getting lost on the ice. But the only reason why I want to bring the ice thing up is because
it's important.
The movie frames it like it's important because they try to treat it like in what would be in another movie. This would be the moment where all of the skeptics are now on board because they have you believe that like when he goes and saves these two kids, it's so heroic. It's so like, then, oh, you know what? Whatever it is, let him believe it because it's worth it because he saved these two kids. But one, it's never like really established that like no one else would have done that. There's no like, it's not like it's like, oh, we need somebody like this because no one would ever do this except for him. I think a lot of people in that town would do that if given the opportunity, including the father. He just wasn't there. It's not like, oh, dad's a wimp. Dad would never do anything gallant or heroic. So they make such a big deal about him like saving these kids. And it's like, oh, it's a good thing you were here for that. But at the same time, the only reason those kids were on the ice is because they were pretending to be knights. And who put that idea in their heads?
Yeah.
The knight. So had they never met the knight, they never would have gone out in the snow in the first place.
Also, in any other film, this kind of rescue would be the end of the film. This would be the climax. This would be that third act climax, and it just, yeah. So it's this really heroic thing that's then completely forgotten. Again, it's another of those things that they sort of bring up because they feel it kind of has to be there, and then it's completely forgotten
Right.
about. But yeah,
Should
no,
be a
you're
turning
completely
point.
right.
It should be
Well,
some sort
Yeah,
of turning point for the characters, but it's just like it just doubles down on what like most of those characters already liked him fine. Like there was not like there was like any sketch.
yeah.
They didn't believe he was really a knight, but they all liked him. Like he's very
Mm.
likable and everybody likes him fine.
well, so one of the things about these kids go missing is they're playing outside in the snow, and then we are from the perspective of Brooke. She gets a call from her sister saying that her sister's daughter is missing. There are in fact two kids missing, but apparently that wasn't part of the message. It's just that her niece is missing. So she heads over there, and the dad is out looking, I guess, or the people are out looking. The sheriff's out looking. The knight takes it, and he tracks them with his knight skills,
Mm.
and that's how he followed that hawk. And you follow what these kids did, and they were misbehaving to an incredible degree because
Mm.
they not only go far beyond the boundaries of the
Yeah,
yard and the block, they're in a forest. They get off of a bridge because he sees imprints of
yeah.
hands are on a bridge railing, and then they get onto a frozen lake. What are they thinking?
We were lost in
I,
the snow.
They were
if you
lost in the
live
snow. You were on the ice.
like we are not from a snowy place. I want to make that really clear. Me and Kat are not from a snowy place, but we are from a place that is very near the sea.
Yeah.
And there are some things you are taught when you live this close to the sea. You're taught about things like riptides. You're taught about things like don't go near the cliff edge in a gale. Don't get near the cliff edge at all. But if you're going to do it, definitely don't go in like gale force winds. Don't, all that kind of stuff. You'd think if there's somewhere that has snow like that, you would be taught, don't go anywhere that you will not be able to find your way back. Don't go on ice. Don't, you'd think you'd be told. I mean, admittedly, we did also spend our childhoods lowering ourselves down mine shafts on ropes, but,
And leaning over the cliff edges.
The principle is still there. But yeah,
So he rescues the kid from there, and then almost in short order, in the chronology of the movie, they have another thing where they go to the Christmas castle again. And your point of how they have him save this kid almost as like proof that he is in fact a good knight and he's a good helper. And then they go back to the Christmas castle and there's a purse snatcher. And he stops the purse snatcher. This is the same day because the police officer is there after the kid's rescued and is there after the purse snatcher's caught. And he's like, man, you've been busy today. And why would they need to double down on this?
Also, where are the other police officers in this town?
Just the one.
Like, I know one of them's died because it's her dad.
Oh.
So there were only two policemen.
Yeah.
There were only two policemen in this town. Now this guy's pulling like 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
He died in an ice skating accident.
No wonder he couldn't find the kids because he's just knackered. He's been pulling like 18-hour shifts for the last 6 months or whatever.
There's also this plot thread where she's preparing for this great feast for the season. And this becomes the end of the movie. And as preparation for this, they go grocery shopping. And this is something I made a note for, and this is just a silly thing that happens in the movie. They're at the grocery store, and he sees the hot chocolate there. He wants to buy 5, 6, 7 cans of it. It's fine. But while he's doing this, and we're paying attention to him try to sneak the cans of hot chocolate into the cart, she looks at her phone and says out loud, "Where's the bread?" Has she never been there before? She says, "Where's the bread?"
He's got a personal.
I wrote down, I was like, what are you talking about?
To be fair, like supermarkets do move things around just to mess with you, though, right?
It's
like,
true.
and you'll be like, the bread was here last week.
That's true.
Where is the bread? I have done this. I can empathize with her. Where is the bread?
Yeah.
Now it's all towels.
This is where he's instructed to get 4 or 5 bags of dinner rolls, eats them in the store, and decides that they're subpar, that he can bake a better bread.
He also says that markets consisted of what were just like game, veg, and bread in his like time. That's also not true. There was a lot
And
more at markets than just game, veg, and bread. I want to make that really clear.
and wasn't it that like white bread was only for the rich people and like brown bread was for like the poor people? So
It's more that you just kind of couldn't refine flour that much. Like refining flour to that extent requires machinery that people just didn't like. So you'd have a lot. It would be a lot coarser and grainier, and so it would potentially still be white, but it would be like a lot thicker. And people used to like pad it. Miller's got a really bad reputation in the medieval period. Like really bad reputation. That's why the Miller's Tale is like such a thing. Like why he's like such a bad character in the Canterbury Tales is because Miller's had like a really, really bad reputation for like adding things that would bleach their flour to make it whiter, or they'd have things like they'd like fatten it out with sawdust. So they'd like pad their flour with all kinds of like chalk. People would pad their flour with chalk and things like that. So like even though there were like laws against doing it, they still do it. And it's so yeah, the bread wouldn't have been a very high quality. I imagine, probably baked fine, but
so
equally like everyone had one oven at the end of the street, or there'd be like one oven in your village where everyone would go to bake their bread. So
And yet, the scene is
yes, bread is
played.
amazing.
The scene is played to establish what a bread snob he is. Like,
Yeah, no, total bread snob. But yeah, his bread would have been like half chalk. Like it would have been awful.
bad
This flour
bread.
needs
He
more
would have made bad
sawdust in
bread.
it.
I would love. I mean, that would have been great if he'd like made the bread and it was really
It
terrible, and
looked
everyone's like,
incredible. Yeah, it looked amazing.
Cole.
Yeah.
it's like, is this
That
chalk?
would be more of a twist.
Yeah.
Like,
That
how
would have
could
been
she love
really
him now,
funny.
but he makes bad bread?
It would have been really funny if it looked as amazing as it does. Like, and it just looks, and there's loads of it. And it's like, and she cuts it and eats it, and it's just like, it's pulling like nails out.
Yeah, and we pan over to a bag of sawdust that's just been
like sweeping. Yeah.
Well, all of that bread talk eventually leads to them baking bread together, and they do the romantic thing where I'm going to stand behind you to show you how to make the bread. But he also introduces, and this is something maybe for our medieval expert, he introduces the idea of putting a bean in the bread.
Oh, it's so cute.
This is a thing. Yeah, this is
Okay.
actually a thing. So yeah, you'd have something in your bread. So we can still see it with Christmas puddings now. That you'd put like a shilling in your Christmas pudding, and whoever got the shilling had good luck. But yeah, a bean is quite common for things like that because a dried bean will cook and won't like cook out. So yeah, no, this is a thing. I don't know whether it's bread. It's more common in like puddings and things like that. But whether it's a medieval tradition
for plot device purposes, like as far as plot devices go, I've been a little snarky about this special. I like this moment. I
like it too.
I like the sincerity of which I think this actor sells it as like, this is something we did as a kid, and it's a family tradition, and it's a really nice thing to do. And I like the way it pays off that like when Brooke gets it and she gets the bean, it's like her moment to kind of wish.
Yeah, I
think
liked
that's actually like one of the stronger moments of this movie.
And as I say, it is a thing that does happen. Again, whether it's a particularly, bready or medieval tradition is another thing. But it being in baked, a bean in baked goods or a thing you can find in baked goods is absolutely a Christmas tradition.
And we can say,
and it's a really lovely one. Yeah, and it's a really lovely tradition. And I think it's like you say, like the fact that it's it pays off, later on when Cole is gone and she's sort of eating the leftovers and finds it. That's such a lovely, poignant moment. Like, it's so lovely.
Surprisingly poignant for a kind of special.
Yeah.
But okay, very quick. I just want to hit a few things. At that party that Joe mentioned, the sort of fundraising party, where he sees the girl with the mistletoe. I made a note that like for all of like, oh, I'm a knight, he seemingly takes it seriously. he has no problem basically becoming a party clown for these
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
and for these people. Like he just whips out his bag of puts his costume back on like at a moment's notice and is like up for taking photos and just sort of like being kind of othered and sort of like treated like kind of like a joke. I don't know. I was a little like
Like a
upset on his
mascot
behalf.
version of his actual job.
Yeah.
When they're baking the bread, and not to derail us, these right into the party, they talk about this put upon father with the multiple children who won't let all of his kids talk to Santa. This guy, how his life has been really hard, and they want to do something for him, which feeds into the feast where they surprise him with
Right.
something.
Yeah.
And he hears that this guy David is pure of heart, and he says like a man of pure of heart. Maybe that has something to do with my quest. And I got kind of mad at this point because there is no definition for what this quest is. He's like, yeah, maybe this guy's my quest.
Right. They're still trying to figure it
Oh.
out. Like they have no
Goes outside, looks at a bird, goes, maybe that's my quest.
and it could be, right? Like it's pulling at straws, which is very frustrating to be that far into a movie and still not know what the characters are supposed to be doing. I mean, we know only because it's a freaking rom-com, right? Like where it's like we know as the viewer that of course it's gonna have to do with love. Which let's shelve that for the end talk. Let's speed run through the rest of this plot because I feel like we gotta wrap this thing.
There's not that much to the rest of this plot, to be fair.
Okay, real quick. The last thing I mentioned is why did they give this guy, the put upon father, a check but never say how much the check was for? It was very weird.
No, it's good.
$5.
That's good because when you watch
the
this
check
movie,
he says, "Oh, this is too much."
Right.
What does that mean?
Good. Use your imagination. That's good because that way inflation won't affect this movie. That way, when you watch this movie in 30 years, you're not going to be like, "What? They gave him $20? Like what?"
Thing is, you say that, and yet, It's a Wonderful Life was made in like what 45, and do you know how long it takes for a working man to save up $5,000? It's still very prescient.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
But that's not because the value of the money has changed or hasn't changed. The value of the money hasn't changed, just earning has.
Yeah.
And cost of living.
What else would you like to mention, David?
I think that's mostly it. So we finally get the kiss between the two of them. Like they finally there's a lot of like there's one moment where like they're about to kiss for about a minute. Like they're like and they're like waiting for the doorbell, waiting for the doorbell, waiting for the
kiss chickens.
Like yeah, it's like come on. But then they do finally kiss, and that's when his amulet glows, and that's when he realizes like I guess he's like, okay, this is what my quest was.
Get horny.
But it's
I was like, yeah, but how do you know it's just her? Is it just not like it could just be like kissing as many people as you can?
Yeah, any kiss.
What?
What
One down.
Charges.
Yeah.
How many more do we need?
But even if it is just her, I just think it's so forced. Big surprise in a romance comedy Christmas movie. That like, okay, so his quest is that he's got to travel across the ocean as well as space and time to meet this singular person. Like that's a lot. Like that's not just like it's like
we're also not given any evidence that he's
no one
not
alive in his
welcoming.
time period. There was no one alive in his time period, let alone on his continent, that could be his love. He has to travel to Ohio.
How unbearable is this man?
Well, that's the thing is we're not shown that he would be against any of this in his own time period. It's not like he had to learn the lesson that he likes to kiss, ladies and
He literally says that he was engaged to be married to a woman named Matilda, and he's like, I was engaged to be married, but I couldn't marry her because I hadn't fulfilled my quest. If true love is your quest,
yeah,
then this whole film has been pointless. Go back to Norwich and marry Matilda, who's probably, I don't know, died of hunger because she's not getting any food because she can't hunt.
Yeah, where's she? She's wishing on her bean. Where's my...
She's like,
please, some food.
Where's my fork?
I couldn't put this in any bread, so we don't have any.
It's like, I gave him my last bean.
I just know he's going to play Find the Bean with it.
After Cole disappears, we then get the sad times for Brooke. And she runs into the student from the beginning of the movie. And this was a very off-putting scene. She runs into the student from the beginning, and the student is like, you know what, Keith? I took your words to heart. I'm not going to focus on this, my boyfriend and the love issues I'm having. I do want to focus on larger goals, and I do want to do well in school. And Brooke, her teacher, is like, that's all well and good. I'm glad to hear it, but I was wrong. True love does exist, and you can't lose it because it'll ruin your life. I'm like, is she trying to talk her into like going after her ex-boyfriend?
I also want to mention that you've missed something really important, which is the terrible, terrible song that plays when she's on her own.
I didn't even notice.
It's sung by the guy who is Cole.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So bad. It's the
like
worst thing.
It's something like, "Who is this lady?
There is a lady. She is a lady.
She's alone tonight with her bread." It's like narrating what's happening on screen, which is wild.
Played on a lute.
I didn't know that.
I forgot about that. That's so funny. I did funny because I have a note that just says "song" in capital letters.
Song. Bad song.
Bad song.
So that's the song that the actor who plays Cole sang. Okay.
They
That
shouldn't
makes
have got him
sense.
to do it. It's a very bad idea.
That was an original song. for this.
Because he's not great. He's a very good actor, but singing is not his strong suit.
It almost doesn't even matter just because it almost feels like it's what's that word for like when music is like in the universe rather than
Oh, it's diegetic.
right.
Yes.
Like it kind of just takes you out of the movie for a second because you're
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what's happening?" Like
Hold up.
yeah, like we're in a musical now.
Oh,
Strange.
But it's
sorry
Vanessa
to-
Hudgens.
Yeah, you could
Maybe
have
that
her to
was.
sing.
Well,
Get her to sing. She actually can sing.
Oh right, yeah. She was in High School Musical. That's right.
Yeah, that woman can sing.
We have sad Brooke with a bad song, traumatizing a teenage girl, and then we join Cole, and he arrives back in the past, and he's immediately at the castle, and his brother's there. It's like, we thought you were basically dead. It's been a week. Where have you been? And he's like, I was lost. You know what? And that's all the explanation we're gonna get.
Lost in this
That's what he
place that
said. I
is
was
my
lost.
home.
Yeah. And then he
But
basically says,
but he go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say we find out he's made it back in time to be there for his brother's knighting. And he says, I'm gonna give you some advice. And he tells him to always be kind to people. And he tries to connect the kindness.
Right,
to
but
the
again, we
fact that he
never
met the
established that
clone.
that's a thing, right? That's like, oh, they're mean to people, or they just like right off the bat, he's nice to the old lady. So like, what is the lesson
Nothing
learned?
has shown us that like Jeffrey is particularly mean.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Like-
He seems to really love his brother, and
Yeah, dude's had like 2 lines. Like,
So much so that when he basically says, like, you need to be kind, because that's what I did. I went on my knight's quest. He's like, you a knight? Yeah, just huzzah! Let's celebrate your true knighthood. And then he goes, I wish I could, but I really want to leave, but I don't want to miss your knight thing. And he's like, nah, bro, love is important. You need to go for love.
he says,
They
I
don't
see it on your
address the fact-
face. He's like, I can tell, like, you're in love with this Brooke.
They don't address the fact that by encouraging him to follow love, he will literally never see his brother again for the rest of his life.
Correct.
And I feel like that's kind of undersold in this movie.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they're never
Family-
going to see each other again.
Family's not important. True love.
and this
say,
is
like,
like
the investment of being a knight is a huge investment, isn't it?
Mm,
Like for him
mm.
to have been brought to that point, there's a huge amount of money that's been thrown in that from
You
when he
have
was a
to
young
pay
age.
But that's
you have
so
to
that's
pay for
that's
your own stuff.
No, the filmmakers know that. They know that because that's why they're laying the tracks for his job as a police officer. Because they're basically trying to tell you, don't worry, all this education, all this study that you did to become a knight, those skills are transferable. He'll be fine.
But it's not helping the people that he was meant to be knighting for.
Yeah, of course not.
I mean, knights
They
are
are
trained
down
to
a
kill
knight.
people.
Abandons these people like that. Like
I
he's-
mean, like
and
knights
Matilda,
are trained
as
to,
established.
knights are trained to kill people pretty wantonly. So an American police officer is probably the right job.
So he goes back and he finds the crone again, and he basically begs for her. He says,
No,
"I
no,
try."
wait. I love that scene. I love that scene. He's wandering around the forest and he's like, Crone, Crone, I have need of you. I like
I would chop a tree down on him. Like, stop calling me Crone.
yes,
My
it's
name is
like
Alyssa.
it's like he's learned nothing. So it's like it's be nice to me, but still use derogatory names.
Bandy the word crone around for sure.
And somehow he convinces her to transport him back through time,
Mhm.
because he found out the true night quest is love or whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so then he comes back to the present, and before they have a reuniting, it's now Christmas Day, and we see Brooke's sister and her family, including her niece, tend to Christmas morning. And the niece finds that she has now gotten a dog that she's wanted for a long time. And her parents were very hesitant to give her a dog. And no one can answer where the dog came from. Why is this in the movie? Why is this magic in the movie? The mom didn't do it. The dad didn't do it. Brooke shows up. Brooke didn't do it. And she's like, this doesn't make any sense. And Brooke's answer was like, well, just because you can't explain it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Because that's the whole thing about this guy traveling through time. We can't understand it, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. This dog is now manifested that. Why is this in the movie?
Because
crone magic.
Or was it Santa? Because Santa knew. They established
Crone
that
magic.
Santa, she does say it to Santa. So maybe
she does. Yes.
I genuinely think the true lesson from this movie is not about true love or being kind. It is that old crones are demented and don't know what they're doing. Like all of this random stuff is it's demented crone will answer all of our unanswered questions, basically, won't they?
Right.
Demented Crone is the name of my metal band.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were gonna see that Cole snuck into the house and like somehow brought the puppy.
Dog.
And just like
stole it from someone else's house.
So many things in this movie, they have this happen, and then it creates like an alarm, especially with Brooke's sister. And then immediately they change the subject to how are you doing since your boyfriend left? What's going on? And it's like, there's a dog in your home. Do you know how much responsibility this is?
This puppy might not be healthy. We need to find out about this dog. Like, we don't know what shots it's had. We don't know, like, this.
Where are we going to get the food for it? Who's going to?
Yeah. There's no food in the house.
It's Christmas Day. Where are we going to get a meat?
You have to prep for a dog to enter your home.
The dad comes in and says maybe it's a miracle. And the dad says, that'd be a good name for the dog, right? Miracle.
No!
And the daughter looks up at him and says, no, the name is Night. And I was like, wow,
also a terrible name for a dog.
Well, yeah, sure. But the dad is like in the moment, being romantic about this. Like, wow, we got this amazing dog. What a miracle. We should call the dog Miracle. And the daughter's like, that's a great point, but no, that's stupid. I'm going to call the dog Night.
That is authentic. That is authentic, though. Your own children exist solely to try and make you seem stupid. Like, that's their purpose in life.
True.
Yeah.
We jumped to the Christmas festival, of course, because everybody has to go back there. Then Cole shows up again, but this time he has his horse. How did that happen? Because he didn't even have his horse with him when he disappeared from the past.
He didn't?
Where'd the horse come from?
Crone magic.
Thank you. Or the
demented crone.
Demented crone. New album coming soon.
So my favorite thing about this movie, so the credits play, it's bare naked ladies, and then in Marvel Comics fashion, there's a mid-credit sequence. Joe, did you keep watching? So the credits are playing, and then they have a mid-credit sequence where we cut back to medieval England, and we see the brother with the crone, and it's setting up what I'm assuming is some sequel that never happens.
Yeah, she gives him an amulet as well. I think this crone just enjoys like sending dudes to the future. This is her hobby. Like, it's This is what she does
She-
with her life.
She's messing with the timeline.
Yeah. Look, if I was an unmarried old lady in the medieval period, blessed with in unfathomable magic, I'd be pulling shit like this. You know,
Maybe
I would
she's
be.
maybe she's actually just trying to like gradually undermine the patriarchy by just removing all the powerful men from
All
the
the good
country.
men.
I like this. Yeah.
Just
I was hoping for that there
emptying
would be a
Norwich a bit at
sequel.
a time.
Like they would do like two medieval men and a baby. Like they gotta like
I would love that. Oh, the idea that he comes to the future and it's
because that's
with
what it seems
him.
like it's setting up, that he's gonna go there and then he's gotta fall in love and then they're gonna
Yeah,
like go
yeah.
on double dates and it's gonna be a whole thing.
I love the idea of them being left alone with a child. Like, not from a safeguarding perspective, I think that would be terrible, but from a movie perspective, I would be all for that.
We've already established safeguarding is not an issue when it comes to
The safeguarding doesn't exist in this land, so
Would it be
we're
better or
fine.
worse than he had to have the car? Like, so what would be the baby or the car? Which is more dangerous?
Ah, with a car, you can hurt multiple babies.
Wherever you are, it's the only place I want to be. But no one can control their own destiny.
Nice catch.
Steady now, milady.
Not like I suppose they are slightly two-dimensional characters. And I just felt really like I wanted to live in that film and do that and be that. And the first time I think I was sort of watching it much more like from a critical point.
What was it that you found, desirable from the setting of the movie or that world?
Just like, oh, that Christmas market looks lush, and like her house is lush, and like
Yeah.
they're just going to the diner, and I would eat that food. Like, why are you not
Mm.
eating that food? It looks nice. I would eat that, and like even just like the, oh, let's do a festive fundraiser. That's such a nice thing to be able to do, and yeah.
It's a really tight-knit community, which is really nice. That is,
I guess that's what it is, that community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one police officer. It's nice. It's really small.
It's just nice. Everything's nice. Like nice is like the tagline of the film, isn't it?
Even
Nice.
even the nosy neighbor is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got the hint real quick, so no real conflict there. Yeah, I often say that I watch these movies for the settings, like the dress, like the set dressings, the way they decorate all the houses,
Right.
the way that they like do the parties in the living rooms, and I just like seeing people like wearing cute scarves and like
Oh,
nice jumpers,
the cozy
and
knitwear.
hats and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
give me
that's
cozy
the
knitwear.
escapist part of it for me.
And snow, like that's the cool thing about watching for me is I get to see snow. I've never seen that much snow in my life ever. So, except when I lived in Yorkshire. Living in Yorkshire gave you a fair bit of snow. But even then, like that thing where there are like full on like so much snow you have to shovel your driveway and it's up to your thighs and things like that. Like no, I've never seen snow like that. So it's like it's quite exciting from that perspective.
Stay where you are.
But
So final question before we go, is there a Christmas movie, romantic or otherwise, that you would recommend?
Flint Street Nativity is like a favorite.
Yes, Flint
And
Street
it's
Nativity is
so
good.
hard to get hold of.
Oh, I have it. Do you want a copy?
Yes, you've promised me that last year.
I'm so sorry.
I still have
will-
not had it.
I'll send you need to remind me these things. You know this. But I need to remind you to remind me. Get one of these guys to remind you to remind me.
Flint Street Nativity is amazing. It's all
Can-
these
can you explain-
incredible, it's all these incredible British actors who come together and then they play like 5-year-olds doing a nativity, but they get what it's like to be a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Like the Christmas card with the taped in sweet that's been like pre-licked,
Yeah.
like that level of detail, and all the stuff is giant so that it seems in
Yeah.
proportion to them. It's the best,
It's got the
most
kid that
hilarious,
dares.
brilliant thing ever.
It's got the kid that dares all the other kids to do things, and the kid that doesn't want to carry the France flag because his dad doesn't want him to. Like, oh yeah, no, it is. As someone who's also worked in education for that age group, Like it's so spot on.
Have you guys
But
seen
you know how like Nativity, the film Nativity, is
That's
kind
what I
of
was
like
gonna
the
ask you. Have you
adult
ever seen
perspective,
the Martin
Yeah,
but
Short
it's
yeah.
the adult perspective. They don't really get the kids. It's all about the adults. Whereas
Yeah.
Nativity, you don't see the adults, do you? I don't think at
No, Fifth
all.
Street Nativity, you don't see you see the adults at
It's
the end because they're playing their own parents,
yeah.
which is such a lovely turnabout. But yeah, like it really has and they're telling such a bigger story when they're doing it. Like all the kids have backstories, and some of them are quite dark, and some of them are quite sad, and but they're doing it in such a comic, innocent way. Yeah, no, it's such a perfect little film.
I'll have to see it. That sounds great. I definitely want to watch that. Joe, is there a Christmas movie that you recommend
Yeah. So
wholeheartedly?
I was, yeah, because I've watched, as I mentioned, I've watched a lot of these movies, and most of them are just, just replace the details and everything else is the same. But one, I was trying to think, I was going through my records of ones that I thought, that that reminded me of nice things, or just I thought were they were more enjoyable than not. And one that is that I did like, it was called, I think it was called uh, Christmas on the Bayou. Why is it? It's
On the
not
Bayou.
notable in and of itself. But it basically is like the protagonist, a woman who's very business oriented, has a kid that she's trying to raise, and then she's taken, she has to go home for the holidays. And so she has trouble separating from her work life, and that's all very tropey. But there's really good performances in it that I enjoyed. And there's like an elderly man who plays the Cajun New Orleans version of a Santa Claus that they have down there, and it's played by an actor named Ed Asner, who is a delight
Oh,
in
I
this
love Ed
movie.
Asner.
He's so warm, and he's curmudgeonly, and it's just a really nice performance in the center of this movie as this this wizened old man. And it's just one of those things that I remember watching and getting more out of it than I did so many others. So Christmas on the Bayou.
Christmas on the Bayou. Have some beignets and under the mistletoe. That sounds great. Yeah, I've never seen one with that setting. Which is strange because I've seen many, 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 many settings.
But that's a good thing. It's a very different context. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I would recommend if you guys haven't seen it, it's actually a mini series called Dash and Lily. It's adapted from a book by David Levithan and Rachel Cohen. It's like a YA kind of Christmas movie. So it's like a rom-com about two people in New York City who meet in a bookstore, specifically the Strand. And if you have spent any time in New York City, everything in the movie is like filmed on location. So it's like basically like these two, this boy and this girl that are basically daring each other to like go to all these different places before Christmas. So it's like a real love letter to New York City and like all the cute things you can do at Christmas. And it's actually kind of like a sweet rom-com, and it's like well filmed and stuff. And it's based on a book by David Levithan, who is a great writer. So guys, thank you so much. If we keep talking, it'll be Christmas Day. We spent the whole night talking. Santa's almost here. We got to put the milk and cookies out. Thank you so much, Mabel, Kat, Joe. Hope to see you again in the future, both in real life and on these little tiny little screens.
Thank you so much for having me.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. Ho ho.
It's been so much fun.